California. It's all today. The superstars are in the Super Building, the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York. I'm Scott Douglas on Super Tracks, and we're ready to go with qualifying for the monster truck racers here at the Nassau Coliseum. It'll be side-by-side racing later here on Super Tracks, but right now we're going against the clock to set the brackets for the first round of competition. And right off the bat, the legendary Gravedigger will go on the clock. And Dennis Anderson posts a good-looking time. The Gravedigger coming in at 2.41 seconds. So Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger has posted a time that may be tough to beat. We'll get a good idea of just how tough it is to beat right now, because here comes the defending U.S. Hot Rod Association World Champion, Fred Schaefer's Barefoot Chevrolet out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Again, the time for Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger, 2.41. Barefoot wanting to beat that to get fast qualifying time, and of course, lane choice throughout the night. A good-looking time, and we'll wait for the official reading from the U.S. Hot Rod officials as we look at the replay. It was a smooth run for Barefoot, and indeed, the Chevrolet has nosed out Gravedigger for the top spot. Barefoot at 2.34 seconds. By 7/100ths of a second, the Barefoot Chevrolet sits at number one. Well, here comes the big bad Ford out of St. Louis, hoping to knock the Chevy from that top spot. It's Jim Kramer. This is Bigfoot number 9 out of St. Louis, Missouri, and Kramer has to beat a 2.34 to get fast qualifying time. Not a bad-looking run, but he didn't really seem to get that oomph out of the starting gate, and the time is just a bit slower than the Chevy times that we've seen posted earlier, 2.57 for the Bigfoot Ford and Jim Kramer. Nonetheless, that should still get him close to the top of the qualifying. The Outlaw Ford is next up out of New Jersey. This is Nick Rossi, ready to go in the Outlaw. Boy, never really got it going. The Outlaw seemed to make a lot of noise, but not a lot of horsepower. He did not get any speed up at all, really, and no air as he went over the cars. So the Outlaw's time is much slower at 3.34 seconds for Nick Rossi out of Pennsauken, New Jersey. The Black Stallion Ford is our next to go on the clock. Michael Vodder, ready to go in the Black Stallion. Time to beat 2.34 of the Barefoot Chevrolet.
Vodder's the Black Stallion. It's supercharged Ford.
Good-looking run for the Black Stallion. As the upstart takes on some of the biggest names in the sport, he looks like he's posted an excellent qualifying time on the replay. You can see very smooth, a nice shot from Michael Vodder's and the Black Stallion, and a very competitive qualifying time at 2.60 for the Black Stallion Ford. Well, here's one they all know they have to beat anywhere they go in the country, and they see the Taurus GMC pulling up alongside. Jackie Willman out of Granite City, Illinois, ready to do battle. Did not look like a real good run, and to be perfectly blunt, it didn't sound real good. I don't know if there are some problems with Taurus, but he did not sound sharp. And indeed, the time is a little slower than the other top trucks at 2.68. So Taurus is safely qualified into the first round, but he'll be toward the bottom of the bracket. Next up is going to be Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher, another Chevrolet, and this is another one of the state-of-the-art trucks with a cantilever suspension, and you'll notice the way each wheel seems to react individually, and it takes a lot of the stress, a lot of the bumps out, so the driver has a much smoother ride. outstanding shot for Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher. On the replay, you can see he had a whole lot of power coming out of the hole. Doesn't get too much air, just enough to get it rolling, and he is the new fast qualifier. The Carolina